Alright, this is Deducter getting ready to go on to floor 27. I actually went to the lab in the northeast corner to craft myself another adamantium claw because there's nothing better to do with the components, and it doesn't hurt to have backup. You can see that just through a couple levels, this particular adamantium claw has been worn down to only 88 durability. It's almost half of it is gone. It's not really a problem since I have the adamantium sword to carve up everything with, but you know, just since I have nothing better to make, I might as well, with the components, I might as well make additional adamantium claw. Which is, you know, if you can't make something like the adamantium sword, and most playthroughs you can't, you just keep crafting adamantium claws with those components, which is a perfectly good use. Ooh, that enemy is by far the most dangerous. Although if I get up to melee range, it won't use its nasty, nasty attack. Don't need this.
Concentrate.
Don't need to do shrapnel storm. That's what I shoot with the laser carbine. I also was quite surprised to find I ran out of electronic parts. I was going to make more bypass circuits, but because electronic parts are so common, I haven't been bothering to pick them up. I mean, I'll get more. They're such a common drop. I'm actually quite shocked to find some of these cybernetic brains, though. That's still a fairly common item, but it's not nearly as common. Let me think. Can't go through that. Can't go through that door. You can see how, you know, on floor 28 already, there are many entrances where, or rooms where there are only these very fancy doors that require special access keys to get into. And they can be a problem. Definitely need to deal with the Pharaoh's Wheel. They can fear you, so it's a good idea. They can also do knockout grenades, so you need to fight them. Ah, there's Psycho Grenadier. Well, there's pretty much only one way to assault this room. Whoa! Okay. I'm also poisoned.
I've spent too much energy.
I'll let those enemies slaughter one another while I hide myself until the dim effect goes away. Come on. Let's see, there's where he is. Oh right, the knockout grenade, what am I thinking? Yeah, that's how you can die, by not paying close attention. I mean, I probably wasn't going to die in that room, but again, that's pretty much the only way I can die at this point, which is to get knocked unconscious. So I need to exercise maximum caution.
Let's play with your marbles.
Alright. See that thing? Von Neumann probe. Those things can potentially insta-kill you. It seems to be stuck in that room. As long as I don't trigger these enemies, it'll probably stay there unless something opens... Oh boy, Lear Screamer. I mean, now the fun really starts. The more interesting enemies have come out to play. Alright. Lear Screamer is one of the worst enemies in the game. I am going to kill it with my best weapon. But first, I'm going to use Shrapnel Storm on it. It is a Lear that can do Shrapnel Storm, Telekinetic Fist that really hurts. Plus, it uses dual pulsar pistols, meaning you can shoot 6 laser bolts at you at once. And it has pretty high health. And it's highly resistant to psionic attacks, but not to telekinetic attacks. It's resistant to mind-affecting attacks, I should say. So I'm going to bust out my best weapon and kill it. carving it to death with my melee weapons is also a choice. But I don't want to take any chances with that thing. It can't kill me, but it can, at minimum, do a lot of damage to me and wreck durability and all sorts of nasty stuff. Well, not wreck durability. There are worse enemies for that, but yeah, Leer Screamer is one of the most dangerous enemies in the game. By itself, it's not so bad, but in conjunction with various other enemies, it can be absolutely brutal.
Toshiko's turn.
Whoops, wrong spot. Getting a bit sloppy, perhaps. Side drain, don't want to use that. Oh right, these enemies can't unlock the doors. I'll unlock it for him.
Alright, plan B.
Yes, plan B. Which is the hack it to death, or claw it to death, I suppose. Delicious fruit.
Now I'm in your head.
If only I had made that auto rifle.
Sister, give me strength.
You see, these low armor enemies really suffer from telekinetic fist. This guy has more health than I thought. Ugh, retriever?
It's just like flying. Die.
Don't really need these, but I still do have some casing fragments in my bank. They can do the poison cloud, but they're not very dangerous since all they have is a laser rifle. Not very dangerous at close range.
I'm ready. Let's play with your marbles.
Now, what was in here again besides the fruit tree? Disease bear.
Concentrate.
Not really a dangerous enemy. Just gonna shoot it. So get some apples. Another armor biomod. I can start putting some good ones into my hyper armor. Cryoid, deal with that later. Toxoid. All my stuff is reloaded.
Okay, focus on my breathing.
These guys are also pretty hard to side drain if I remember correctly.
Skull.
Because again, they're psionic enemies.
Sister, give me strength.
Running a bit low on auto pistol ammunition, but I have the stub pistol and I have plenty of ammunition for that.
Yes, never miss.
Toxoids cease to be a threat at this point. enough for fear? Not quite. Better you say the brain soup.
Now I'm in your head.
Cryoid, eh? I'm gonna keep my quantum scan helmet on since... Come on, if you attack me, you could potentially damage the Toxoid for me. I'm going to need to drain this guy. Here you go, that wasn't so hard. Same trick.
First turn. Ow!
Big Protean. I'll deal with you later. Ooh, that's not good. Mechano Dog. They have higher health than the other variants, and they're very damaging if you don't have good armor. They use a snub pistol. So as you can see, high damage, slow penetration. Ugh. Let's see, where is it hiding? Alright, let's see what's in this room. Combat armor, that's pretty useful as a backup armor. 70 armor, high durability, and best of all, it's contained. I just want to equip it to see how many slots it takes up. Yeah, okay, this is very good armor. Especially because of the contained feature. Exo armor, that's really more for engineers. I mean, I believe scouts can equip it, but you can see a powered exo armor designed more for moving heavy equipment and making extensive repairs than combat or protection. It does allow for firing heavy weapons and increased carrying capacity. However, the armor is pretty low. And furthermore, you can't use a lot of items with it. I think, for instance, you can't use the Tesseract belt, and I think you can't use, like, the arm slots, although I can't remember exactly. It's been such a long time since I used that. I know it's more really for an engineer, so I'm not going to bother with that. Another armor biomod. I have 2 of these now, I think, so I do want to get to a lab, identify them. That's interesting. Ooh, those things are gonna break through very quickly. You can see they hurt. Although this door is incredibly tough and resistant. Alright, better use the auto shotgun on it. It's another one of those saber cat things. Yeah, it's having some trouble busting down the door. There we go. Now we have plenty of shotgun ammunition. station here.
Time to fight dirty. Dagger's turn.
Ooh,
Now I'm in your
there we
head.
go. I actually am tempted to use this to make one of those welding goos. I actually like to copy one of those. It's in my bank. I might come back and use that later. I'm not going to use it on the sheet of exo armor since I'm going to save my best item for it. But what's good to use this on is the accelerator boots. And also my adamantium claws. Or actually no, the auto pistol, since I have a backup adamantium claw, but the auto pistol is still good. I mean, I might as well just use the other lockpicks. I'm running very low on improvised lockpicks, so yeah, I'm not going to equip the phase glove.
Yes.
Rocket launcher. Okay. Not going to turn down a rocket launcher. With 4 grenades, really? That's pretty ridiculous. Oh no, I have enough firepower to level pretty much anything. I also have so much junk. I mean, I don't need this anymore. Okie doke. Well, with the rocket launcher in tow, I can, these, as you can see, 85 damage, 110 penetration, AoE. I mean, this is basically a very good grenade. It's also 100% accurate, so it's better than a grenade in that sense. However, I believe the damage does scale depending on heavy weapon, and this is a heavy weapon. It scales significantly with heavy weapon, and the scout has a pitiful, 1 skill in heavy weapons and 15 related. I could boost the skill up a little. But the thing is, every time I end up using a rocket launcher, I sort of expend 1 charge of the ammunition, which isn't really ideal. So I may have to like double level it if I want to do that. I have so many skill points that I can do that. Nevertheless, it's still not going to be really one of my primary weapons. I already have my primary weapons, in fact. But yeah. I mean, such ridiculous. Whoa, this was the room with that von Neumann probe. It's out. Okay. That's the one thing I have to be very careful on this level of, that von Neumann probe. I am going to pause the video as I access the Tesseract well and reorganize my inventory. Alright, and I am back from consolidating my equipment. I gotta watch out for the von Neumann probe on this level. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. I also put my chitin armor in there. This is why we use the bioslug applied to combat armor. Got rid of it and keep the combat armor because this thing is contained, which is very important. Contained means you are immune to gas-based attacks. For instance, the knockout grenade from those pesky Zool and the corrupted doctors. So this basically grants me immunity to those effects, making this incredibly valuable. Definitely good to have. So I will be alternating between my cheetah armor and my combat armor with the chitin armor in reserve. Just in case. And there's actually a good reason for why I do keep the chitin armor in there, which is that there are certain attacks in the game that can permanently damage armor rating. For instance, the final boss uses such an attack. It's good to keep backup armor around specifically for those circumstances. Anyway, onward with this level. What's in this room? Is that where the Zool is? I also wanted to craft my silence auto rifle, and there's a 40 copier. Normally it's kind of a waste to be using the 40 copier on something as mundane as the welding goo, except I can't seem to really find them in this game for some reason. So I am going to copy one. As you can see, the recipe for the silence auto rifle requires 2 welding goo, the structural rods, and the heavy silencer. And I've got everything now to craft that with. I might actually want to make like a second copy of the armor bio mod, if it turns out to be good. So I'll come back here once I can identify my item. What else is in it? Ooh, boy. Well, this is why Shrapnel Storm is useful. Those guys don't seem too dangerous. They don't seem very accurate. That might be, no, it's just crappy cyborg there. These aren't very dangerous. Alright. This room could have the Zool. I think it was in here. Whatever the case is. Oh, that's where the von Neumann probe is. Okay, I'm gonna take it out with my best range weapon. They have a short range attack that can disintegrate you. I'll lure it out here. But they have many weaknesses. One move. It's not a short range, it's more like a medium range attack. Their main weakness is that they move so slowly, and because of that, you can just lure it to a place of your choosing and then shoot it to death. Not difficult. The only time when the von Neumann probe is truly dangerous is if you're teleported like via a wormhole trap next to one, and you don't have a harmonic resonator to make you immune to disintegrate.
Serves you right.
So again, something to keep in mind. I'm gonna keep this armor on since I remember there was a corrupt doctor down there. Fire foam, don't need that. What else is here? Turkey! Ah, I am not bothered by your pathetic little attack anymore.
Now I'm in your head.
These guys can drop a very particular crafting reagent. Do I have space for it? Yes. And I might, do I have any apples? I don't. Because that's one of the items you can make. It's more cute than anything else.
Give me strength.
Since I don't really need it to succeed at this point. Ooh, Fryoid. I mean, there's nothing to level up, really. I'll put one more into... I mean, I don't need lockpick, electronic, mechanical, or computer, since I have so many ways of boosting those abilities. Cipher isn't really necessary because of my Rosetta brain. You know what? Just as a lark, I'm going to start leveling up heavy weapons for that rocket launcher, because what else am I going to put my points into? Oh, mecha empathy, I think that was my plan. Sure, why not? And I'll put some more into telekinesis. I mean, the heavy weapons isn't really worth it.
Time to fight.
Ooh, I better eat something now.
Push this turn.
I have plenty of primordial soups at this point. Isn't my like inventory full of them? Oh wait, maybe not. Just the one? Huh. Did I pick up the fruit? No, I didn't. No need.
All in the wrist.
Need to recharge, probably to Bordeaux. Again, with my contain armor, I do not fear gas-based attacks. See, I can just walk around here completely immune. Alright, look at floor 28. It's already such a sprawling, massive complex.
Feel the power. Let's play with your mind.
Not that they hurt, and not that I really need to do that, but if you have psionic abilities, you might as well use them. There are more Tesseract wells on this level. I'm not desperate to fix it.
Help me, sister. Give me strength.
I mean, whoops. I could do the trick to like get special rocket launcher ammo, but I'm not gonna bother. I'm fine in terms of equipment. The only thing I want is a somewhat better laser weapon, and that's it. Man, I'm getting all these weapon biomods. There's nothing else I need. So, and I have an abundance of riches, so I don't feel necessary. Is that the Ultra Amazoid? Yes. Alright, now we can have some fun. This thing is one of the worst enemies in the game because what it can do is it can transfigure itself into you. Basically, it copies you, your equipment, your abilities, and then use them on you. It is, in short, extraordinarily nasty. And when it copies itself, it has an absolutely ridiculous health pool. Like if I have, what do I have, 800 health, it'll probably have something close to that, like 1,000 health, and it'll take forever to kill. If you, however, manage to weaken the Ultra Amazoid sufficiently with, maybe I don't want to use Plasma Grenade, explosive radius is too big, it'll stay in its, adaptoid form, if you would, whereupon it's not super dangerous. So, this is a good candidate for the rocket launcher. There we go. I could also let it transform and have an epic battle, but that is, I think, the best way to deal with them if you want to be efficient. That's how you use the rocket launcher. Alright, I can make pit stew, right? Yes. This thing grants a massive amount of food, but it also, I believe, when you eat it, has a chance of giving you like a bonus to a stat. So let's find out. Gave me +1 power. +1, always good to have some sort of bonus like that. 300 food doesn't hurt. Protein shake, again, since I have plenty of energy drinks, is also something that makes sense. It can potentially give me extra strength. My food bar is getting very close to filled up. And it didn't on this occasion, but that's alright. Then I might as well use the remaining ingredients to make some more energy drinks. It's always good to have more energy drinks. Yeah, I don't really need to cook the meat. The raw meat, actually, because it's useful in the ingredients, like whatchamacallit, the protein shake. I don't necessarily want to cook all of it. So, if I can find some cheese, I can make some star fondue. That'll be... I can also make, like, I now have a ton of Tarka war bread. Let me make, like, 4. Just, you know, just sort of as backup, just in case. For whatever reason, I find myself resting over and over again and need food. Ugh, look at this room, filled with enemies and nothing to get. There's no reason for me to clear it,
Focus on my breathing.
other than experience. Don't really need to clear that stuff either. I mean, because I have all this weapon and good armor and all that stuff, like, I can clear these rooms and I still wouldn't even really feel it that much. But since there's no real reason for me to do it,
In your head.
I rarely like to waste supplies.
Strength.
Heavy robot, there we go. This thing should unlock the door for me. Sure, I'll shrapnel storm it. Making it a breeze to kill. There is a security bot I want to take care of. If I remember correctly, there's a Zool there. Yep. Let me drain some side from these guys.
Let's play with your Mars.
Then we hack them to death. Don't really need to repair that. Don't really need to kill these things. I do want a lab. I might come back to this floor to use that copying station once I can figure out what that is. Or actually, what I'm almost certainly going to end up copying is, if this is one of these is like the plus 10% damage biomod, that's what I'm going to end up copying. So, I need to make a total of 3 of those dioxic ships, and I have the space for it. Excellent. Alright, well, my rampage continues unabated. It's not too much these levels can do to stop me, at least on normal difficulty, as long as I am careful. So, thank you for watching.